Good morning everybody, I've arrived at my first location of the day. So let's grab my stuff and see if I can get a few photographs before moving on. So I've arrived at Richmond Falls in the Foss car park, and having been to Richmond a fair few times now, I had no idea that these falls existed. So I grabbed my coat and headed down to see what photographs I could get. I know this isn't a dedicated photography channel, it's mainly about vans, campsites and hikes, but some of you wonderful people have requested that I film a little bit around the photographs I take, because some of you also have camper vans and an interest in photography too. So hopefully adding this kind of content here and there, it will add another angle, every pun intended, on the videos I upload each week. Right, so I've had a bit of a wander around and I think I've got a nice shot through some leaves and foliage and stuff. I know a couple of you guys have mentioned in previous photographs I've done of waterfalls that you're not really a fan of the kind of the smoky waterfall look. So I'll do two images, one of the smoky waterfall and one of it freezing the motion of the waterfall, and let you guys decide which one you like the most a little bit later on. But there's people coming now, so I'm off. So I've just moved about 50 yards up and I think I've found a better photograph opportunity, so I'm going to grab that one and then we'll head back to the van. Nice. Well, hopefully I've got some nice photographs and I'll show you them a little bit later on in the video, but for now, let's head to Richmond Town Centre and see what that's all about. Lovely. So annoyingly, I've got the most amazing parking spot slap bang in the centre of Richmond at Marketplace. However, when I went to go pay and display, you can't pay and display. It's disc only. Now, there are signs everywhere that say you can get your disc from the town hall, so I had a quick mooch up to the town hall. That's closed. And I'm also assuming, I might be wrong, that you probably have to be a resident to get a disc. So I'm going to have to go find another car park. So that's what we're going to do. I need my keys. Nice. Well, eventually I found a parking spot a little bit further up. I'll do a pin in the map, and it's pay and display maximum 2 hours here. I'm not going to be in Richmond any longer than 2 hours. Going to be heading off to the campsite, which is only about 30 minutes away from here. So this could be a day out for you if you stay at tonight's campsite. And spoiler alert, it allows fire pits. Nice. Right, let's go have a wander around Richmond. I found out afterwards that you could actually get parking discs from most of the shops and that they're free to everyone, not just locals. The disc gives you 2 hours free parking, and next time I visit, I'll definitely be grabbing one. Richmond is such a lovely place. There are a host of independent shops, cafes, pubs, theatre, cinema, museums, walks and many other activities, all within walking distance. Oh, nice. Well, that's not something you see or hear every day, is it? Nice! The town is also ideally located as a base to explore the stunning Yorkshire Dales National Park, with its spectacular scenery, picture postcard villages and a myriad of exciting days out. The best way to discover Richmond's history is to visit one of the many attractions or to take a guided walk or self-guided trail. You will see many of fine Georgian and Victorian buildings clustered around the cobbled marketplace, but delve a little further and you'll find many hidden corners and fascinating landmarks. It wasn't long before my tummy started to rumble and I got the whiff of a chip shop. It'd be rude not to get a chip butty. It is dinner time and I'm trying to find a certain shop, which is where the Yorkshire sign in the van originated from. We bought it ages ago and that place is literally like a treasure trove, and I want to go in and I want to find it. And I won't be happy and I will not leave Richmond until I've found it. And these chips from that chip shop, highly recommend. Legendary. I'm properly gutted. It's shut down. Shop local, use it or lose it. Oh, I'm gutted. That was such a brilliant shop. Ah, never mind. Right, onwards. I then headed towards the castle to see if I could have a meander around the castle grounds, and because I'm a tight Yorkshireman, I was hoping that it was a National Trust site so I didn't have to pay to get in. It wasn't National Trust, so... No, I'm not going in. Thought it was National Trust, but there's a castle. I'll drop a pin if you guys want to go see it. Nice. Right then, the beers are chilling, the wood is ready to burn. Not that wood, road. So let's head off to the campsite and see what that's all about. Can't wait. Chill time, fire pit and beer. Oh! The drive to the campsite was lovely, made better by the weather, something that I'm sure you've all noticed by now. Yes, it's not raining and I'm camping. How unusual. While driving, I noticed a sign to a place called Reeth, so I stopped off to have a nosy. This is about 3 miles from the campsite and well worth the visit if you're passing through, or as a base to start a walk in the Dales, grabbing a pint or two on your way back from one of the pubs. Well, I've arrived, and that track on the way down, there is no big vans getting down here, I can tell you that for nothing. It is steep and narrow. And look at that for a view behind me, it's proper nice. I've parked the van on an angle so it blocks the wind. And do you know what? The owner is absolutely lovely. She told me everything about this place, which will come up in the campsite tour a little bit later on. And it's just, yeah, well worth it. Teeny tiny, but well worth it. So it's time to get the van set up, and regular viewers will have seen me do that a billion times. So while I'm doing that, it's time for you to see my images that I took today. And I think I got some nice infrared ones too. Don't know, not sure. So as promised, I've taken 2 shots of each scene. One with the smoky water with a slower shutter speed and an ND filter, and the other where it freezes the water with a faster shutter speed and no filter. Let me know in the comment section below which one you prefer. I like the smoky water shots, but like with all photographs, it's completely subjective, and not everyone will like the same thing. At the campsite, I grabbed this infrared image and then a shot of this sheep. I'm going to call him Alan. So that's me all set up and ready to go. But I know there's a pub just up there. Do I go to the pub? What, you think I should go have a pint at the pub?
Yes, Colin. Go on.
Do you think?
Yes, go.
It's definitely pint time, isn't it?
Go on.
They agree. Thanks, Hen.
Heading up the steep hill on the path the owner had pointed out to me earlier, I made my way up to the pub, which wasn't very far from the site at all. You'll definitely need a torch to get back if you stay later though, because it is pitch black at night.
So it took me about 10 minutes, if that, but it's pretty much all road. But it's quite confusing when you're walking up the path to get here, because the gate that I went through was actually tied shut, but she assured me that you could go through there, so I had to climb over it. So if you've got long legs, you're fine. If you've got someone to give you a lift up, you're fine. If not, you might ask her to undo the knot, because it was pretty well knotted. Pint done, let's get back to the van, get some food on the go, get the fire pit going, and answer some of your questions. Nice. It's now time for Colin answered questions. Colin answered your questions. And the first question that I'm being asked quite a lot is, why have there been no mini meetups this year? So there's a couple of reasons, and one of the reasons is the weather has been utterly shocking this year. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's not really stopped raining. And the second reason is that, and the main reason is that we've been so busy, not just with YouTube, but with work and with family life, and all sorts of stuff has been going on. So we've been super, super busy. And what we're thinking of doing next year is maybe blocking out some dates so then they are in the diary, and then we can work around those with everything else that we're doing. Because I think this year we did it a bit wrong by thinking to ourselves, right, let's wait until X month and then go, let's do this week. It's like, oh, we can't, so-and-so's happening. Oh, we can't, this, we're doing this. Oh, we can't, we're doing that. And it never really worked. So yeah, by blocking them out, I think pre-year, if that makes sense, it'll probably work better. So watch this space. Hopefully next year the weather will be better, and hopefully next year we'll get our act together and we'll get some mini meetups sorted. And the next question that I'm getting asked quite a lot is, how long does it take for you to edit your videos? Do you know what? That's a brilliant question. And it all depends on the kind of content that I've filmed. So for instance, a family holiday where there's no structure to it whatsoever, because we're on holiday, you know, it takes maybe 2 to 3 days to edit one video for you to watch that 1 week. Whereas something like this, because there's more of a structure to it, this video you're watching now has probably taken me anything between sort of 10 and 12 hours. But I won't do it all in one go. I think my eyes would go square. So I just sort of dip in and out of it over 3 days. And then I've got like a fresh eye every single day. So technically it's 3 days, but it's not, because I'm doing other work, you know, working my actual job and family and things like that. But yeah, in total, it's probably about 12 hours. And the final question that I've been asked quite a few times now are, what are your top 3 campsites that you've stayed at since starting the channel? That's a difficult question to answer, is that one. So I'm going to stick to sites that have really made an impression on me and I've really enjoyed my stay there for whatever reason. And this will change. It always does. You know, it's like having your top 5 favourite songs. Your top 5 favourite songs now are completely different to your top 5 favourite songs maybe 5 years ago. So yeah, don't hold me down to this. However, I think off the top of my head now, my top 3 campsites that stick in my head. First one is Red Squirrel in Glencoe. Absolutely beautiful campsite. It's got a lot of, I don't know, I just love it. I love the views, and it was my first trip to Scotland in the van on my own, and it just has this special kind of grab. Loved it, absolutely gorgeous. If you've not seen that Red Squirrel video, I'll pop it in the description below. That's nice. And the second campsite has to be Dales and Trails, not just for the fact that their showers and toilets are way above Hilton Hotel standard, and I am talking the best showers and toilets I have ever seen, ever, full stop, not just on a campsite, ever. I mean, I've not been very many places. However, you know, for me, that's why I chose Dales and Trails. But not only that, you can hire the whole place out exclusively, and it's got a separate unit that you can have fire pits in, not indoor, but like undercover. It's got a kitchen area, it's got bedrooms. It's just really, really nice. And I love that site. And the owners are lovely as well. And the third campsite has to go to the Dales Bridge. Not only do I absolutely love Ross and Amy, they're really good friends of mine now, but that campsite pretty much has everything. Walks from the doorstep, an amazing pub just around the corner. It's got a pub on site. Do you know what I mean? It does pizza ovens, it does special nights like Halloween and New Year. It's open all year round. It's massive. They host our meetups for us as well, or have done in the past. So yeah, I have to put that one in the list as well. They are, it always will. It'll be in every single list. I think it was when I did a top 5 campsites a couple of years back. They were like the number 6 because I couldn't not mention them, if that makes sense. But yeah, absolutely love that site, and probably one of my favourite sites that I've ever been to. And I remember the first time I went there when Ross didn't know me. No, I didn't know Ross, obviously. He was just pushing his little one round in a pram, saw me with a camera. I was the only person on site, and he's like, oh, what are you doing? We just got chatting, and now we're mates, which is lovely. And yeah, that's about it really. I think that's answered the 3 questions so far. If your question has been asked, don't worry, it's in the bank. I've got a massive list of questions to go through, and they will appear at some point during the videos. I'll try and answer as many questions as I possibly can, but now that is the end of questions. So as you can probably tell, it's getting pretty dark now, and it's only just gone 6:30, so I may have to adjust when I do Colin Answers Your Questions in future videos. But I think you've waited long enough. It's now time for your campsite tour. Thank you so much for watching. I shall see you guys on the next adventure, wherever that may be. I know where it's going to be. I'm going there tomorrow, but you don't, so I shall see you then. See you, bye.
Hazel Brow Farm Campsite, open all year round. It's a family and dog friendly site. It's small but lovely and just outside Reeth. Speaking of Reeth, it's well worth the visit. It's a beautiful village with pubs and shops, and you pass directly through it on your way to Richmond from the campsite. The road on the way into the site is very steep and narrow, so larger motorhomes and potentially larger vans may not fit or get back up again, but vans my size and smaller should have no problems at all. I was greeted with a smile by the owner, who told me everything there is to know about the farm. She said they're quite relaxed and that it's a very much fend for yourself type of place. They have open days for groups of children where they learn lots about the workings of the farm and get to see lots of cute animals too. There are no showers or else on point on site at the moment, but there is a small waste area, 2 toilets and an outdoor pot wash facility. In the camping check-in area, there is another sink for pot washing, water and a coffee machine in the breakout area too. There are lots of leaflets about activities on the farm and a board with information about things to do in the local area too. Be aware that this is a working farm though. There are sheep, goats, hens, alpacas and farm machinery around. The pub is about 400 yards from the site up a fairly steep path, but it's definitely worth it for a pint. This is a fully off-grid site with no option for electric hookup, and I paid just £18 for a gravel hard-standing pitch. You can stay on the grass field should you wish to. All in all, I like this site. It's simple, friendly, near a pub, and there are tons of walks from the site too. I will be back 100%.
Loads of people about. This car park was empty when I pulled in. So let's, for those wondering whether I had a dodgy tripod on one of my other videos, it's not. I'm using a monopod on this and it's well wobbly. Look. Oh, Wobblesville, Tennessee. Go to Richmond and see what that's all about. No, do that again. Let's head to Richmond city centre. No, town centre. Let's head to Richmond. Let's head to Richmond town centre and see what that's all about. Lovely. Right, that'll do. So annoyingly, I've got an amazing spot at a, I've got an amazing parking spot at Marketplace. So annoyingly, how many times am I going to say so annoyingly? So annoyingly. Nope, not going in. Nope. No. Thought it was a car. Oh, that's Chip Shop. I don't know if that is that a bit like BBC News doing it like that static. Don't know, we'll see.
Subscribe!